wanted the best, you got them 4 abreast. Often imitated, never duplicated. The greatest show on dirt, the World of Outlaws.
This is the original esport racing game. This is iRacing.
October is now a memory, and all that remains are lost hopes for drivers seeking to beat David Holland for a championship. We've soared across the Atlantic Ocean this evening and dropped in for a little fun in Spain. Coming at you live for round 8 of the Precision Racing League Formula 3 Series here on the Global SimRacing Channel and the iRacing Esports Network. Hello, race fans, and in the booth with me this evening, well, he's back to haunt us all, my little brother, Johnny. And over there in the big chair, Joe Peak, twisting and tweaking the dials for us as he does air every Thursday night. And the genius behind the cameras this evening, our good friend and wizard, known to all, Dougie Beard. Now, this is the latest and greatest track on the iRacing surface. Welcome to Circuit de Catalunya here in Barcelona, Spain. And we have seen a few races here on the Global SimRacing Channel, and well, here's what we've learned. It's hard to pass. It's hard to keep good tires under your car. And this track is sure to be blistering hot here on the presentation tonight. But we thought so much of this great circuit, we prepared this GSRC track preview for you.
Welcome to Circuit de Barcelona, the home of the Spanish Grand Prix for nearly 30 years. It's easy to forget that this is a relatively recently built track in Europe. It's known for its long, sweeping corners and hosts the highest level of open-wheel and motorcycle racing. Placing an emphasis on a good aerodynamic setup with high downforce cars, it's often overlooked that it offers plenty of overtaking for lower-tier racing as well. In fact, most don't take into account that this adaptable track has 5 different layouts to choose from. These range from the nearly 3-mile-long Grand Prix version to the minuscule 1-mile club circuit. Because of the pit straight being the longest acceleration zone, Elf is the most likely spot for drivers to get a pass done. After that, your next hope might be into La Caixa, which, depending on which layout you use, could be a sharpened set of 2 turns or one long hairpin with an opening radius. In the early 2000s, a chicane was added close to the end of the lap, but the old Europcar corner can still be run. The Spanish fans have some gorgeous views from the many hills dotted along the track. And with the international fame this place built over time, it's no wonder they're almost always full come race day.
It is a real sight to see here, John, at the Circuit de Barcelona, as you see there on your screen. John, now you've been in the GTE here, Tin Top. It was hot when you ran. It's going to be hot here tonight. Tell us a little bit about what you know about the F3. I know you work with guys behind the scenes. Tell us a little bit something about this combination.
Well, as you mentioned, this is the latest track in the iRacing service. The track itself, Sean, it's technical. It's extremely smooth. It's like butter. The only problem, though, is it's very abrasive, and I kind of put it up there with like Rockingham, you know, a half-mile track that just chews your tires. This track does the same thing. You know, with a recipe of 126-degree track temperature right now, I think it's going to be interesting to see if these guys decide to possibly take tires for the first time this season, as most of these guys run on the same stint or the same set for their stint, you know, in this PRL league.
Well, John, listen, we got to talk about our great sponsor here this evening. Ready to compete against the financial markets? Well, supporting over 60,000 users across the globe, NinjaTrader provides award-winning trading software and brokerage services. NinjaTrader is always free to use for advanced charting, backtesting, and trade simulation. Visit NinjaTrader.com to get started with the risk-free trading simulator and start tracking your performance. John, this is always the great segue when we talk about performance. We talk about what's been going on this season, and David Holland is really, really torn through the league. He's gained just about as much as you can per race, points wise, and it sees him in the lead right now, 220 points. He's got 6 wins on this season, 220 points. Abner Acosta 35 points behind. And John, I didn't see Abner earlier. Has he made it? He has made it. So
He has made it, yes.
so the independent there does have a shot still. He's not been mathematically eliminated. We still have 3 races left. The championship, though, back for third. Zegers, Santana, Raymond Day, not too far out of it, but watch and keep an eye on Zegers and Santana. Of course, Santana part of the powerhouse that is Vantage Esports Yellow. And as we go to the team points, we'll see Vantage Esports Yellow at the top. And John, I don't know if they're going to be toppled here at this point. Now, the guys over at TQ Engineering, the recently rebranded TQ Engineering, a nice group of guys and all very fast. But again, the dominance of Vantage Esports Yellow have been pretty solid this season. SRT Esport Red and, of course, Ford Bike Racing locked in a battle there for third, with Vantage Esports Green not too far back there. Raymond Day, of course, leading that team, with Lyndon Swaby just a couple spots behind him in the points. So a couple of good drivers there with an outside shot to maybe get into the top 3 spot here in the teams championship. But John, we're in Barcelona. I'm sure we've got people tuning in for the first time. Why don't you tell them a little something about how we do it here on the Global SimRacing Channel?
All right, so round 8 of 10. So as you mentioned, there's some tight point battles going on, probably in the 3rd and 4th position. These races are 45 minutes in length. There are no yellows. There are local yellows if there's an incident in the corner. Open setup, so each one of these individuals can choose what they want to run as far as a setup for their personal preference and liking. 20 incident cap. You know, we haven't really touched on this or seen this really this season, Sean. This could be a place that bites someone. I know there's some areas where kind of questionable where the X's should be, so we'll see if that comes into play. And then obviously this season's new bonus point ruling is you get an extra point if you sit on the pole in the fastest lap. Also, you get an extra point with 3 incidents or less And as you alluded to, Sean, someone like Abner Acosta, who's needing just a little extra, can certainly benefit for that new point system.
Well, John, we are here on the iRacing Esports Network. Yes, us Global SimRacing Channel. It's a little channel of ours here with other broadcasters bringing it to you live 7 nights a week. You will generally always find something rolling here on the iRacing Esports Network, and we're happy and proud to be part of that network of broadcasters that are here for you and giving you all these great races to watch. But John, Barcelona, always a great place. Also a great place to get yourself a GSRC sticker to maybe throw up on, I don't know, one of the walls here or on one of the cars. But, if you carry those GSRC stickers around with you, they will allow you to do amazing things. In fact, I've been told that that sticker alone will allow you to climb mountains and maybe even mountains like over 10,000 feet. And if you're lucky, you'll maybe leave one of those stickers up there for people that came behind you to see. I don't know,
Sean. Also, it gets you to the front of the line at Disney World.
I heard that.
I heard that. Yeah,
I heard that. So get yourself, and you could get all that for just $1, John. So it's $1. We're talking $1. So everybody's got $1. All right. We talked about the championship battles, and we talked about some of the trouble here on this track. Yeah, you and I were talking about it in the pre-race, and a couple of danger spots here to pay attention to. One of them is setting up for the long straightaway out of Campsay. It's that downhill into Worth. Pretty tricky area of the track, isn't it, John?
it really is. It's a modulation of downshifting and braking and corner entry and just when to get on that gas to get that great straightaway exit speed. So that's going to be an interesting start. Also, turn 1 on the actual start of this race is going to be interesting. You really, we saw it a little bit in the GT race, the GTE race. You've got to be really single file in these F3 cars because the tires, when they're cold, they do not stick. So
yeah.
Hopefully no one tries to go in there 2 and 3 wide because we'll see havoc.
Yeah, we definitely will. And right now, qualifying, really just a little over 3 minutes left in it. David Holland, no great surprise to see 5 laps under his belt and see him at the top. Rob Clenard, now we were talking about him before we got started this evening, John. Rob's been in 3 races this season. He's got 3 top 5s. He's been bad fast every time he's been here. We know he was away in Italy racing go-karts, and then he was in Vegas enjoying himself, and now he's back, and he's sitting up here in second right now in qualifying, and that just, boy, does that make that team even stronger if he's on point. And really, you talk about locking up a championship. Vantage Esports Yellow with good finishes by the likes of David Holland and, of course, who we're talking about right now, could really make a big difference, like I said, in locking this up tonight. But yeah, Rob showing some good strength early. There's Michael Overbay on screen. Overbay looking awful fast tonight, John. 3rd right now on the board.
Yeah, he's got his teammate there behind him, old Glitter Pants. We mentioned Rod and Vantage Esports. Something to keep in mind, Sean. Rod's only run, I think, 2 or 3 races this season. And the last time he was on track with us was at the ring, and I believe Rod was leading until the last lap when his teammate got by him. So, tonight would be a good night to see some of these other drivers kind of taking a W, right? Someone like Rod or maybe Raymond Day, who's been extremely fast, but just hasn't been able to sew the deal. Nathan Lewis, I mean, there's another driver who, we see fast week in, week out. Delp, I mean, there's a lot of guys that could potentially have a great race and get a W tonight, considering, well, this is a new track. Now, obviously, Holland has some time here with the GTE car, and but also Holland's under the weather and kind of medicated right now. So we'll see we'll see how that plays out as well.
Oh, okay, do his fellow competitors know he's medicated. Are we breaking news here, John?
Well, we have official reports that Dr. Ambrosia in Australia has fixed him up with legal prescriptions. Yes.
Okay. All right. Well, cool. That's good to know. Sorry to hear David is under the weather this evening. Something tells me that hasn't hurt his pace too much. He still holds that. Looks like he's maybe going to hold down at 5 laps. He's still sitting in the pits. There's only a minute in qualifying left here. Raymond Day coming around for another one now here on screen. And let's see here as he gets out of New Holland up the front straight. Awful close, but not as fast as, so that's where Raymond's going to stay there in 7th.
Yeah, and Abner Acosta just bumped up to 6th. So, man, we've got a tight top 10 here.
Oh,
going
and
into
Francisco Montini with the drafting help there. It gets out of New Holland. He goes up to P3 on the board and bumps Michael Overbay.
Yeah, we didn't talk about that. Drafting here is huge. Coming down this long straightaway, drafting, you'll get 2-3 miles an hour extra, and it really is dependent on the launch coming out of New Holland.
All comes around and doesn't look like his fastest lap there. In fact, doesn't look like that one registered. Here comes Hugo Galaz. Checkered flag has fallen here on qualifying. Galaz going to be the first to come across stripe here and finish. That's a 138.6. That's his best. Doesn't move him off the board. He'll stay P26. Here comes Chris Richards. Got a few seconds to go to get around. Chris getting through the chicane here. Setting up for New Holland. And it's that run we talked about how important it is, John. He's got no drafting house out there by himself. It's going to not be his best lap. Raymond Day comes in behind him. Day's going to stay P7. Oh, and a little bunny hop there for Raymond Day.
Yeah.
Here comes Kevin Santana. We haven't talked about him at all. Oh, and that went all wrong for him there at the end. Adam Colsar, he was fast in practice. P8 is where he wound up here in qualifying. Matt Hall, another New Yorker here representing tonight. He's got a good one going here out of New Holland. What's it gonna be? That was not quite his best. It was pretty close. I knew he had a good run going there. Here comes Kenny Rodriguez. This one looks like it's going to be slow, John. In fact, he's heading on into the pits. That is everybody here in Barcelona, Spain. Why don't we go ahead and get to the grid? We got a big field tonight. It looks like just north of 33, 34 cars. So good field tonight. Here is your grid. David Holland, the Texan, has the pole. His fellow Texan, Rob Kennard, sits there right next to him. Row 2, Francisco Montini, Michael Overbay starting 4th tonight. Row 3, Nathan Lewis and Abner Acosta with a 6th place qualifying effort. Row 4 going to go to Raymond Day, Adam Colsar starting 8th tonight. Row 5, Anthony Pisano and Kevin Santana starting 10th in the 666.
Row 6 starting 11th, Nicholas Delp. On the outside of him will be Steven Verde. Brett Thurman will be starting 13th. Owen McLaughlin, 14th. Row 8, Armando Edwards will be 15th. Lionel DePratt will be 16th. 17th, the Samurai, Takeshi Kita. Outside him, Kenny Rodriguez. 19th, Jay Steffi and Christopher Richards rounding out your top 20.
All right, John, we're going to go to 21st spot. That's going to be Wong Taylor tonight and Matthew Hall. Start 22nd, row 12, Matt Gunderson. There in 23rd, and Charles Sumner starts 24th. Row 13, Sean Duhamel. Next to Hugo Galaz in the 555. Row 14 is going to be Ty Gore in the number 7. Kyle Streichart starts 28th. Row 15, David Cristelli. Donald Olson is starting 30th tonight, and I'll take these last few here for us, John, and there is just a few of them. David Blackwood got 31st tonight, 32nd for Brendan Cronin, and no times here for Lucio Vargas, 33rd, and Daniel Barnett, 34th. As we get ready to start the race now, we wait for everybody to get on the grid, John, and get things fired up here. It is a clear day as we come out of qualifying. It's just after 3 in the afternoon, virtual standard time here in Barcelona, Spain. 124 degrees on track here as we get ready to get started. Look at those Vantage Esports Dallara Formula 3 cars there at the front row as we slowly walk our way through the grid, down the front stretch here, and get ready to get started. I'm excited about this one. New track. 3 races to go in the season. It's all at stake here. We wait for the lights to go up, and John, they're going to do that now. The lights are up. The engines roar. And we're mean green and underway in Barcelona, Spain, Circuit de Catalunya. And we've already got a car off in the back into the wall. Spinning tires, another car on its lid. Barrel roll. We'll get back to all of that. Big junk at the back of the field. Holland, Clenard fighting down into turn 1. This is where you talked about, John, the big stack up. Everybody needing to get line astern. They're not listening to you. There's lots of battles. Particularly Francisco Montini, Raymond Day, Adam Kolsar bottlenecking there. Up front, you've got Michael Overbay trying to get into the mix.
Oh,
Big
Holland
action.
goes out. Holland's out in the grass.
Oh boy, and into the kitty litter he goes, back on the track, he mixes back in. Holland loses a bunch of spots down to P14. Now they're starting to kind of go line astern as they come down the hill into Worth.
Yeah, these guys, you would think, Sean, with a hot track like it is, that it wouldn't take long for these tires to get up to temp, but it actually does. It takes about a lap and a half.
Adam Kolsar back there struggling, John. He's holding up Kevin Santana, Francisco Montini. They're all over him. The leaders start to scream away, stretch things out, but this battle back here intense. Kolsar just gets passed by Kevin Santana. Santana almost loses it there. The rear end of the car comes around, he catches it.
Abner Acosta had a great first lap. He was strong on that start there, that dead stop start, and just showing great pace early on here.
And by the time they get around for the first lap, John, they finally get to spread things out. That's Owen McLaughlin with trouble. Down into turn 1, Montini, Kolsar with a big battle. Kolsar almost up under the wing. Almost made contact.
Raymond Day and Acosta going at it here.
They certainly are, John.
Well, there are a lot of battles throughout all of the track here.
Yeah, it did take them about a lap and a half, though, to get things sorted out and actually get the cars a little bit line astern. That first lap was extremely nuts. Cars 2 and 3 wide. Not anymore, as things have started to string out just a bit. There was craziness at the back of the field on the start. We'll get back to that here in a little bit.
Yeah, just an update. David Holland, he's currently in 10th position. Obviously, we saw him on that first lap going around the carousel there. Just got in a little bit too hot on cold tires and went out to the, as Sean said, the kitty litter. But Holland currently is in 10th, and, well, Holland's coming out of New Holland.
Yeah, Holland. Oh no, Stephen Verde. Is that Verde and Brett Thurman? I think both getting into it. They can't get out of each other. Oh man,
Like dogs in heat.
yeah. Somebody get the hot water. We come back to the battle for second. Overbay, Lewis, Overbay gonna make the pass. Actually, that wasn't a pass. I'm sorry. He kept Lewis behind him there. My bad. That's what I get for catching that one late. Overbay, though, already picked up a couple of spots, man. Right now, he's on top of this. Clenard, though, starting to kind of step away a little bit. Got to be careful here.
Overbay has not had the season that he's shown during practice and qualifying. It'd be nice to see Michael this evening come out with a podium finish. Obviously, he's positioned himself really good behind Rod. So as I say that, he goes in hot, and there's Lewis behind him.
Nathan Lewis continuing to show that speed that we talked about in the pre-race, John.
Yeah, we've got some different people up here. It's kind of a little bit refreshing. Obviously, no one's running away with this at the moment. We're still early on.
Lewis made a little bit of a mistake there. Overbay turning the fastest lap that time around. I'm still keeping an eye on this battle for P6. They all make their way down into Elf now. Santana, Colsar, Montini, David Holland, I would think, I'm just going to say pissed off. Heavily medicated and pissed off right now. Yeah, David Holland. And he's stepping out already to looking to make a move on Montini.
Well, getting up to Montini is one thing. Passing Montini, well, that's another.
Yeah. Colsar hasn't made it easy to pass up there either, to be honest with you. He has fought well. It's kind of let Santana get away just a little bit. He's like, you know what? I don't want any part of your battle.
Let's keep the camera on these guys real quick, because they're going to get into a part of the track that's really technical in braking and downshifting as they get prepared to come on that front straightaway.
This track, a combination of hairpins, carousels, double apexers, John. It's got a little bit of everything for you, doesn't it?
It really does, and you got to make sure you don't hit the curbs here. Oh, like Holland just did. Yeah, you just lose so much, and now he's got Pisano all over the back of him.
Pisano off throttle there, John, taking a bit of a lift. That's all right. Pisano's in a good position here. He's enjoying this. Gets to follow a fast driver and maybe keep him close here. That'll allow him to get away from Nick Delp, maybe. Not much has changed up front. Rod Clenard still in control by almost a second now.
I'll tell you what, Sean, let's see if we can go back to that incident on the start of the race, if the director has that spooled up there, and see what happened.
Yeah, let's do that, because honestly, I'm a bit lost on that. I'm not really sure what happened there on the start, but we had at the back of the field shenanigans going on. Somebody just missed the mark somewhere.
I'm looking at that red, white, and blue car there on
Yeah, that's Daniel Barnett.
Oh! Yeah, well, it's Independence Day for him, because he climbed all over the back of the car. I don't know if that one got a bad start there or he just got a jump.
We're on board with him here. Let's see if we can figure out. Oh, boy. Man, this is not going to end well. Big check up there, John. And Daniel Barnett just simply no time to react, just plows into the action.
Ladies and gentlemen, these cars will be auctioned on eBay later this afternoon.
And Holland gets around Francisco Montini, John. Now
Well,
he gets to go figure out how hard it's going to be to pass Adam Colsar.
Yeah, good recovery for Holland there. Santana having a good run, up 4 spots from 10th, currently in 6th position. Takeshi Kita, Matthew Hall. I was going to say he was up 9 spots, but he just moved down 1.
Yeah, Armando Edwards just got by him, but we got to continue to watch this battle because David Holland.
Oh! Look at Hall and Edwards. Oh, they touch.
Okay, yeah, let's go back to that. Actually, that battle that got a lot better real quick. Edwards right now trying to find the rear wing of Matthew Hall.
Well, they found the rear wing about 4 corners back, along with each other's tires, and he makes another
attack. Not generally where you see a lot of fighting down in here, John, but boy, Edwards really game for it.
Edwards is putting that car where I have not seen it go before.
Yeah.
He's 3 wide by himself.
You a new 3-lane? 3-lane Edwards? Yeah, you talked about the draft. You really see it here on the straightaway. But not enough there to close there at the end and make the move. But boy, real close to picking Edwards, getting it all wrong down in there, John, all over the place and losing time. Here comes Jay Steffi.
Our spotter's telling us that Paisano is chasing down Montini for that 9th position there. Great battle between 7th through 10th there.
You know, there's a good Italian restaurant in that there somewhere, John. We'll have to think. I don't think either one of them are Italian though. But anyway, I digress.
By the way, you came over the Atlantic to get here. They flew me into LaGuardia and MacArthur, and so I came over the Bay and the Sound.
Okay, but then how did you get to Spain? Forget it, John. Holland took care of Colsar. He got by. Now he starts to move away. He's got Kevin Santana a couple of seconds. We're now actually just 1.3 seconds ahead of him. So that recovery, Holland loses 13 spots. He's now picked up 7 of them here, if I'm doing my math right. And charging his way back to front, about 7 seconds behind Clenard.
Yeah, Overbay is just catching up to Clenard.
Yeah.
He's currently sitting purple right now. Rod's got a lap car in front of him, which in a very technical part of this track is going to play havoc. Overbay has just gained 5 car lengths on the back of Rod.
Yeah. Brett Thurman's got a decision to make here. Here is the lap comparison between Overbay and Clenard. You see it there on screen. Overbay right now putting on a little bit of a clinic, tracking him down. And it was, again, Brett Thurman in front of these two, and they are catching him.
Yeah, and this is the part of the track that and luckily,
he didn't want any part of it. Oh, he's gonna come right back out on track though. Here his driver's trying to come through.
Now, which one will get the better launch out of New Holland here? This will be key going on that front straightaway. Rod hits that curb a little bit. Overbay comes out clean.
John, I think Overbay's still going to be a little bit too far back here to press for a move down into Elf.
Great movie.
And I'm hearing we had an issue between Edwards and Jay Steffi. Here's the replay. Ooh, and it looks like Jay Steffi just wasn't on the same page with the braking zone here.
Yeah, he's got some heavy left front damage there on that wing, which, you know what, this track requires front downforce, so that may be an issue for Steffi as he's marred back in 24th right now.
Yeah, and Steffi sits there and waits for Edwards to wait for the rest of the traffic to come back by. But Steffi's car very, very injured, and he's going to take a while here to get back to the pits with that damage. And we haven't seen any pit stops yet as we hit the 30-minute mark here of the race, John. Imagine sometime in the next 10 to 15 minutes or so, we'll see that pit window start to open up. We are seeing that Kenny Rodriguez did, in fact, wind up retiring from the race, so tough night for him.
Yeah, shout out to Lyndon Swaby, who's not here tonight. I know he was trying to get home as we have a battle here for the lead coming out of New Holland.
Yeah, Overraid got it a little bit closer that time. I still think maybe he's going to be a little bit too far back to actually make the dive here into turn one. Somebody off in the kitty litter all the way back there and in the back. I didn't see who that was. That might have been another lap car getting out of the way for the traffic in front of him or behind him. Clenard still able to hold on to it. The question is right now, for how long? Michael Overbay really laying down some great tracks here now. He's still purple, as you talked about before, John, getting quicker every lap.
This is where Overbay is strong, right here and through the middle section of this track. Comes out wide, brakes early, and that's where he gets the gap closed up here.
Yeah, and Clenard makes a little bit of a mistake there, and Overbay really, really pounces on that as it comes down into Worth. And Rod just sliding it through there, John.
Well, both these drivers are they're sliding around. Actually, the track temperatures come down about 5 degrees.
You know, one of the things I wish they would that we could see and they would model in the iRacing is that body English. You know, that's exactly where in that chicane down there, that's exactly where you'd see a guy really rolling with the car, trying to get it through. And Clenard doing a wonderful job of holding Michael Overbay back here now. Oh, and a little gets a little squirrely on him.
Now let's talk about strategy here. Obviously, you have two guys that are kind of just slowly walking away about a tenth a lap. One of these drivers is going to take tires. If I were one of these drivers, I would need to mix it up. Obviously, their lap times are about almost a second and a half slower than what they were running in the beginning of the race, which doesn't sound like much, but for these cars, that's a significant drop-off from what we're normally used to seeing.
Well, I know we've been heavily focused on the battle here up front. There still is action here in the midfield. Stephen Varaday having a battle with Charles Sumner right now down the front straight into turn one. Sumner not really excited to give that spot up. He's picked up 7. He just gave up 1. Sumner gets in hot, loses the line. Going to open up opportunity for Varaday to run away a little bit, get some of the time he's lost back.
Yeah, I'm thinking Sumner's wishing he had some of that Tropicana right now with this heat. Abner Acosta has caught up to Nathan Lewis.
Yeah, I just noticed that, John.
10-car gap between them.
Yeah, so we've got 2 distinct battles here up at the front of the field. In your top 4, you've got Clenard and Overbay have gone off in their own little battle. Now you've got Acosta, who's found Lewis, only about 0.8 of a second back.
So let's go back to the strategy thing, and I hate to harp on this, but okay, we're about a second and a half off from when we started. Does it make sense to short pit now and get those fresh tires and get that track position by yourself on a clear track? I think it would, and so maybe one of these drivers is kind of thinking that right now.
Well, traffic's definitely going to be an issue, John. This race is really spread out. We've got cars all over the place here at this point.
Oh, and we got a car on the wall there in the corner. Who was that? Santana?
Was that David Blackwood, I think?
Oh, okay. Yes, David Blackwood. Yep.
Yeah, and he had Kyle Strycars right behind him, John. when this happens. Yeah, and you're going to see him move wide here to get out of the way for strike cars, and when he does, he just catches it out in the grass and the car goes around.
Yeah, right where his teammate Holland went off there on the first lap.
So that's going to relegate Kyle down to P27 right now. Some action here for 22nd. Hugo Galaz just getting by Matt Gunderson. Gunderson trying to get it back. Yeah, cash for crash, making a little noise here in the back of the field.
Well, Gunderson kind of disappeared in the mirror there.
Oh, and something's happened with Montini, John. Montini with a mistake because Pisano and Nick Delp have gotten by him. Let's see what's happened here. In fact, I think we're going to catch it on the replay. He's going to get the curbs, John. A little bit too much curb for Francisco Montini. You're going to see it right here. Comes back around there, gets it out to the left a little bit too far, brings the car around, gets so lucky not to get hit right there. As Pisano was right on him. Pisano had been tracking him.
And that part of the track is all you can eat sausage curds during the day.
It's those long sausages too. And the rope sausage type.
Ooh. Luckily, I don't see any damage, although there could be some to the undercarriage. We don't know, but I'm not seeing much damage, if any.
That's what I would worry about is the undercarriage of that car. Overbay here, now trying to maybe get the spot here for Rob Quinard. He's really pressing for it.
Poor Rod. Am I in Italy? Am I in Vegas? Am I in Spain? I mean, the poor guy doesn't know what continent he's on right now.
I know this. The passport is certainly getting a lot of stamp action these days there for Rob Quinard.
Okay, Overbay's. Yeah, you've been doing it all night. I didn't want to say anything. Here comes Overbay. Got the slipstream. He's looking to the inside. If he can get half the car width, he's got yes. And Rod, he backs out early. Gentleman move by Rod there.
Yeah, Rod's gonna wait until the pit stops on this one. He knows long he can just keep him there and let the pit stops decide what's gonna happen here. Looks like these two are gonna have a healthy fight for the last 14 and a half laps of this race, John.
Now, this is where, Rod's probably thinking, I'm gonna pit now. Go ahead and get my fuel, get 4 fresh tires. Being behind that car in that dirty air, Rod's going to struggle just like Michael did there for those 8 laps. So Michael's kind of already pulling away there a little bit.
All right, I got to bring up David Holland. Yeah.
Look for Rod to come in here.
Okay. All right. Well, I want to bring up David Holland, though, because he's now only about a little over 5 seconds behind our leader. What was about 7-8 seconds is come down. Holland, the owner of the fastest lap in this race right now, still turning some blazing laps, trying to get back to the front here, John. What looked like impossible looks like, well, maybe there is a shot now to come back and win his 7th race of the season here in the Formula 3 Series, the Precision Racing League.
A good recovery for him. Really not much change in the top 8 here between Overbay and Kolsar. Maybe some back and forth between obviously first and second, but the field seems pretty content there in the top 10. Ooh, as we have a car that with
Nick Delp is in.
Delp?
Yeah, Nick Delp is in. Just picked him up coming in, John. He is taking tires up on the jack. So Nick Delp, the first of our cars to come in for a scheduled pit stop. He opts for 4. Wong Taylor, Charles Sumner coming in behind him.
Let's see what these guys do. Maybe they opt for 3. Can you do that? Can you just take 3?
I don't think you can, actually. Well, no, you can. I guess you can. Yeah, you can take. That's right. Just not in the Cup cars. So both of them get out, both with identical pit stops. Matt Hall there in the back, he's come in. So the dominoes starting to fall here with the pit stops, John. P3 heating up. Nathan Lewis, Abner Acosta still in a very, very tight battle. Rob Cunard just... I'm going to have to... Yeah, Rod Stewart. Yeah, Rod Stewart is just a second and a half up the track.
Rod, have we told you lately that we're sorry?
Man, Nathan Lewis really pressing hard right now. He was up over the curb right there, and I honestly thought that car was coming around. Car still looking a bit squirrely, really, really wide on the apex of the carousel there. And is brought Abner Acosta right up to the gearbox.
Wow, Abner just threw it in there.
Out of Repsol, Abner looking for opportunity here. It's a great F3 fight between these two. And Nathan really on the verge of just overdriving it a bit. He could get bit here, John. You've got to be so careful. Abner Acosta inflicting pain on one of the orange cones coming out of the turn there. You know that section.
Rod is making some mistakes here. I think he's trying a little bit too hard, or maybe his tires are just gone. But Lewis is catching up to him quickly.
And he's in.
And Rod's in.
And Lewis, was that Lewis that followed? I think Lewis, Lewis followed him in.
Let's see if he takes tires.
Well, it's been the call so far. So I don't know. We'll see here. David Holland has come in. Kevin Santana, Adam Colsar, Anthony Pisano, and John. I'm seeing cars up on the jacks. Nathan Lewis did not take tires, John.
Yeah, to give up that, you're only giving up a second and a half. To not take tires, it's going to bite him here in about a lap.
And Holland with an 11.3 second stop in the box. I'm not sure. Maybe he had some damage to repair, John.
Yeah, possibly from that sand trap early on, Sean.
Might have been damage he'd been carrying and still had incredible pace. But coming out of the pits, you've got this battle between Colsar and Kevin Santana. Watch out.
Now, here's the drawback to new tires. Obviously, you can't get on the track and go full bore again. You've got to get those new tires up to temp. So you do give away some speed initially. But the overall delta on a new set of tires here should pay dividends for some of these drivers that took them.
Well, Santana Colsar really come out with one of the best battles out of those pit stops.
Abner Acosta's in the pits right now. Let's see if Overbay takes tires or Acosta takes tires, or is fuel only.
Oh, Santana with a mistake there, John.
Overbay, fuel only. Acosta taking tires. Acosta with a pretty long pit stop there. He must have had damage too.
He must have picked up something too, John. Yeah, good point. So mysteriously long pit stops there for Acosta and Holland both.
All right, so now Rod Clenard is marred in third position. He's got new tires. The front two do not, fuel only. So let's see if Rod reel these guys in. Obviously, we'll look at the lap times the next time they come by here.
Well, the championship battle, though, finds Abner Acosta ahead of David Holland here on track, but not by much, only by about 0.4 of a second, John. We're going to get a legitimate fight here before this race is over between two of the greatest drivers in the league this season, in Acosta and Holland. This is going to be fun. And I shouldn't leave out Raymond Day. He's just in front of them. I don't want to. I'm sorry, Ray. I didn't mean to leave you out there, buddy. They're closing in on him.
Yeah,
Ray's going to get to have fun.
Leave the primary sponsor out of it. Way to go, Sean.
That's right. Yeah, we don't want to upset the people there at NinjaTrader, folks. Hit up NinjaTrader.com. Find out what they're about. Get trading today.
All right,
Holland.
All three crossed the line here. Obviously, Rod Kennard is about 0.7 quicker on new tires right now.
Here comes Holland, John. He's going to make the move on Acosta here on the front stretch.
Well, you mentioned it. I mean, two of the best here in this series, or two of many best going at it. And obviously, David now trying to catch up to his teammate, Raymond Day. Looks like Ray possibly only took fuel only. So this will be a good checkup on tires versus fuel only.
And we've got, you talked about Clenard. He is chasing down Nathan Lewis still. In fact, he is really there now, only about 0.3 of a second. They come down the straightaway in Lokaja.
Getting the power planted right there is so difficult as you're braking 90-degree left turn down to first gear. We're going to see these tires pay real dividends through this kink up here through the bus stop. And there it is.
Yeah, that's your lap comparison there for you.
Oh, I'm drunk trying to follow these guys.
Trying to break that draft.
0.7 quicker that time again. Oh, bad entry for Lewis. That's going to bite him, especially coming out of this corner. Clenard all over the back of him. Take the 1X. Take the 1X. Yeah, these guys battling is allowing for Overbay to kind of get away here. Oh, as he slips.
Loving this battle here between these two. Clenard still. Oh, and he clipped the curb there. Really having trouble hanging on to it. Hang on, cowboy. He's going to need more than 8 seconds to get this one done. It's going to be about 8 laps.
Well, if he's going to... Oh, he goes in hot. The best thing he can do right now is shut off his rear view mirror and just focus on Overbay.
The same thing. I was just thinking the same thing. You know what? Don't even look at the mirror. As Franco says, it does not matter what's behind you, only what's in front of you. Still, we've been focused up front so much, we've left these poor guys alone, but it's caused them to fight. Nick Delp, Francisco Montini. Montini lost all those spots early, still clawing back, John, trying to get another one of those back. He's going to have to get through Nick Delp to do it here. They'll come across the line, as I said a moment ago, probably about 8 laps left to go in this race. Montini going to step out to the inside here down in the Elf. Try and make it happen, and Nick Delp's going to let him have it. Delp going to try and cross him over, come back at him. Delp with the position now on the outside. No momentum, loses it all. Montini has all of it. Delp still fighting back. Still going to try and do it from the outside.
Well, if he can hold it on the outside, he's got the preferred line in the next corner. Oh, and Montini throws it in there hard.
Going to pay for it on the exit too, John. Look at the power by Delp here. Coming down the hill. Not enough. He backs out of it. It's going to let Montini have the chicane.
You know, I do not see Zegers here tonight. Am I missing something?
No, you're not. We haven't talked about him at all. He never was here. We are missing Daniel Zegers from this race tonight. Delp still just on the hunt here. Montini holding things down. It looks sketchy there for a moment. He seems to have reeled things back in. The Rincon racer coming around for another lap.
You know, I'm actually looking at the times now. David Holland just went purple, and
Yeah.
Michael Overbay is actually doing an incredible job of maintaining a good speed and lap time on the same set of tires.
Yeah, it seems to have cared very, very little about the Hancooks that are on that car. He continues to turn in 136.9s here on that last lap. Since the pit stop, John, he's been... Well, that was his first 136, but a couple of 137 flats out of the pit stop, and then that 136.9. So, yeah, great pace for him coming off that stop and getting things rolling here again.
Oh, and he just spun!
And
man.
I didn't do that. No, that wasn't over. No, that wasn't Overbay.
Oh,
that was Duhamel that spun.
That was Duhamel. I'm so sorry.
I was on mic and I saw the spin. I'm like, no, I don't think that's him. No, it was Sean Duhamel, who's not had a great night, unfortunately, and spins right there in front of our leader coming by.
I'm sorry, folks. I thought I was on board with Rod, and I saw a car spin in front.
John David Holland comes across the stripe with another bad fast lap. That time a full half second faster than our leader, Michael Overbay, with 6 laps left to go. Can Holland do this? Can he win his 7th race of the season from this far back? He's got great pace. He's going to maybe need a little bit of help, but it's not out of the question. At least maybe getting to the podium, not out of the question for him here.
Yeah, you know, hey, listen, David's an incredible driver. Great racecraft skill. I don't know if he's got enough to get up there. I mean, it's going to have to take a mistake by someone like Nathan Lewis, who's having an incredible evening. And then, you know, contribute that with also being on NyQuil. You know, Holland's probably just waiting for the checkered flag.
I'm keeping an eye on this one. Santana, Colsar, and they are now side by side. Colsar throwing it again there again. Colsar been very racy tonight, John.
He has. He was very racy during the warm-up session as well. You saw him progressively get better lap after lap after lap, and you're seeing that during the race tonight.
Yeah, and no tires for Colsar either. He fuel only on his stop. Montini, one of those that didn't take tires.
Acosta just passed Raymond Day.
Oh, we missed that. We don't have to miss it here on the GSRC replay. We've got it for you. It happens down the front stretch. At a New Holland, it all gets set up. Acosta going to take it to the inside, fight him all the way down to L for it. And And they, when we come back live, they will still continue a fight. They not giving up on that spot there with David Holland.
Or Abner Acosta.
Acosta, I'm sorry. Yeah, my bad. I'm flipping all over here on my screen, trying to make sure we don't forget anybody in a great battle right now. And yeah, I did it. My tongue ran over itself.
Well, at least you didn't call him Rob Acosta.
Rob Acosta, yeah. I don't believe there's anybody named Rob in this race, is there?
Well, according to you, there is.
Yeah.
He's second right now. Day making a good charge here out of New Holland.
And Day's definitely got a shot here to take down the great Abner Acosta for P5.
Sean, don't count now, but Lewis is catching up to Clenard. He's about a second behind him, about 15 car lengths, but he is gaining up on him quickly.
So is Rod maybe the atypical kart racer who just chews those tires up in about 2 or 3 laps, John?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He saw the stickers on those Hancooks and he blistered them. No offense, Rod or Rob.
Yeah, we know how those kart drivers are, though, and Rod certainly one of the best in the world, and maybe suffering from a little bit of just putting down some bad fast laps, and Nathan Lewis definitely getting bigger in his mirror right now. They'll come across right with 3 to go.
He shaved 2/10 off in those that last sector there. Make that another 2/10.
Oh, and Nick Dell just got by Montini. I think Montini made a mistake. In fact, I think Montini makes a mistake. He did. He makes a mistake down into Worth. And he makes a big mistake and saves the car. Watch this. Montini's going to have big trouble. There's the green car on screen. Coming down the hill here. He's just going to miss the entry altogether. Hits the curb high. Goes over the other one. The car snaps around on him. He saves it, John. Great job by Francisco Montini. On those old tires. We'll go on board with him here. A little bit too much over the curb there, and then back to the right. It just doesn't get any better when he crosses back over that curb again, and it snaps, and he catches it.
Great job. And actually, he did something that was quite impressive. He hit the curb, but he chose to go through the sand barge instead of riding that curb, getting more damage to his car. So a credit to him in his driving and quick thinking there.
Now, I'll tell you what, we won't focus on this long, but there is a great battle going on for P16. Lucio Vargas, who's up 17 spots this race right now, is trying to hold off Owen McLaughlin and Takeshi Kita. And I got to tell you, John, these 3 are locked in a real death match here at the back of the field. They'll have 3 laps to go as they come across the line, which is 2 and 40 minutes, 2 minutes 40 seconds left in this race. Great to see the back of the field here, still having fun. Teammates there surrounding Owen McLaughlin. McLaughlin having trouble hanging on to it here. Got the Samurai at his back door. I'm glad we picked them up, John. They're having a little bit of fun here. Kita trying to take this away from McLaughlin. At a Repsol, he got a good run, but then lost it. And we've seen several drivers have trouble down in there, John, and now Kita gets the spot. Kita gets that spot from McLaughlin. Like taking candy from a baby. Just all he waited for him to mess up.
Well, speaking of candy and baby, this fight for second place here, it's it's heating up.
Yeah, it is. And I just look back to it. Yeah, Rod really, really heavy on the wheel right now.
Go for the X's. There's only 1.5 laps left.
Yeah.
Use all the track. Ooh, as Lewis brakes hard and right on the back of the gearbox of Clenard.
Michael Overay coming through the chicane now.
Texas.
Overay into New Holland, and he's going to come across with a white flag right now, John, here in Barcelona-Catalunya.
Lewis has
Michael
got
Overay.
the run.
Yep, Lewis has got him dead to rights here. It's going to be a drag race down to 1.
Great defensive move there by Rod, taking the inside, taking that braking zone away from him.
Boy, this is going to be exciting to watch, folks. Hang on to your seats.
Again, Rod taking that preferred line away. Will it be a crossover? Now, Lewis has the inside. He's got the preferred line going in this corner here. Rod with a great exit. Now crossing over to the inside. Lewis backs out.
Ooh, almost contact there by Lewis. Watch out, here comes David Holland back there watching so closely at this battle.
There you go. Take the cones, take the X's. Last lap.
And he's got a cone. Well, we're not seeing it on screen. I'm seeing it on mine. It looks like Nathan's got one trapped there in the wing.
Extra downforce.
Yeah. Overbay having to get through traffic in the chicane into New Holland. He's going to have traffic right in front of him. It's not going to matter.
Oh, he's out of gas. Lewis is out of gas. Holland passes him right out of Holland corner.
Nathan Lewis misses it on the fuel. David Holland is going to get that podium. Nathan Lewis going to lose it to Abner Acosta. Lewis totally out of fuel. He finally gets across the line. Raymond Day going to come home in 6th. Nick Delp is going to get 7th. Adam Colsar, who fought. Colsar's out of fuel. Colsar's out of fuel. Here comes Montini. Montini passes Colsar for 8th. Colsar finally drifts across. Here comes Pisano.
Santana's out of fuel.
Oh, geez, John. We had several drivers apparently missed the mark on the fuel. Pisano didn't. He's going to finish 10th. A little bit of gambling going on here tonight at the casino.
They say gas is expensive in Spain.
Wow. Sumner, Lucio Vargas. Yeah, Sumner hasn't really had a bad night. He started P24. He's running 17th right now and got a chance here to hold on to it. Lucio Vargas has picked up 15 spots and he hits the curbs. Surely that's going to lose his shot at a pass here. Sumner keeps it clean out of the final turn and he'll come across in 17th. Vargas 18th. Galaz 19th. Ty Gore 20th, John. Jay Steffi will be the last car on the lead lap to finish this race in P21. And that's it. We're done here in Barcelona, but we will be back with the results and talk to the few of the drivers here in tonight's race here on the Global SimRacing Channel and the iRacing Esports Network. We'll be right back.
40 of the best sim racers, $100,000 on the line. Who will rise to the challenge? This is the most competitive and sought-after season in iRacing World Championship history. This is where legends are made. This is the Porsche Esports Super Cup.
What a barn burner here tonight in Barcelona, Spain, in the Precision Racing League Thursday night series. Yeah, they run the Formula 3 here. And your results see a new winner at the top tonight because it's Michael Overbay getting the big win. And congratulations to him. Rob Kennard, one of the big stories of the race. Well, why? Because Rod, that was his fourth race of the season. It's his fourth top five. And I believe that's his second podium. So really good stuff out of Rod Kennard tonight. David Holland is going to somehow finish on the podium tonight after big trouble early. He fought back the whole race. Holland with a P3. Abner Acosta is going to get P4 because Nathan Lewis, John, a little short on fuel, but saves P5. 6 going to go to Raymond Day. Nick Delp going to take 7. Francisco Montini with an 8th place run. And, well, he probably could have had more. Adam Colsar at 9th was very racy tonight, as we talked about. Anthony Pisano with a great evening, checking in at 10th.
Steven Verde coming home 11th. Armando Edwards 12th. In the Baker Dozen, it's Wong Taylor and Takeshi Kita up 3 spots, coming home 14th. Owen McLaughlin coming home 15th. Christopher Richards coming home 16th. Charles Sumner, Mr. Tropicana himself, up 7 spots, coming home 17th. 18th, Lucia Vargas coming there 19th. Hugo Galaz, and 20th, Tyler Gore.
All right, John, we're going down to P21. It's going to be Jay, Steffi, all kinds of trouble for poor Jay tonight. Kevin Santana, 22nd, 23rd. To the little train, Lionel Duprat. Sean Duhamel, 24th. Donald Olson, 25th. David Blackwood, 26th. Kyle Strykars, 27th. 28th, going to go to Matthew Hall. Matthew Gunderson, 29th. 30th, going to go to Brett Thurman. And I just love it when you realize you really just misidentified somebody really, really bad. So Lionel Duprat is not the little train. That's Lionel Callisto. He's just Lionel Duprat. So anyway, the rest of the tribe is Daniel Barnett, Kenny Rodriguez, David Cristelli, and Brendan Cronin round out this field 29 laps down. Let's talk to Mike Overbay. What a race for him tonight. He didn't run out of fuel. Mike, what a great race. The decision not to take tires, was that just a gut feeling, or was that the plan going in?
It was a no-brainer the whole time. I mean, we could do the same times without taking tires, so we had the car set up just absolutely perfect. And we could have really put a lot of fast laps in at the end if we wanted to, but we just no need to.
Well, it seemed like getting around Rod Kennard wasn't a lot of fun. He looked awful good this evening. Yeah,
we just let him go out there and use up his tires because he was using them up pretty hard, and he just kind of sat back behind him and saved fuel the whole first stint. And then he got a little bit too slow towards the end of that stint, so we had to make a move and pull away from it a little bit. And I mean, otherwise, it was a pretty straightforward race. We had tons of pace tonight, so it was really great.
You know,
poor Nathan. Oh, I'm sorry. I was just going to say, poor Nathan. He got some damage and used it up. For some reason, wasn't getting the same fuel mileage and ended up running out of fuel at the end.
Yeah, I was going to say, Michael, this is John. I was going to say, are you guys that cheap that you can't get an extra half gallon of gas for your teammate there?
Yeah, exactly. You know, I mean, we got to do what we got to do.
Well, Mike, congratulations on the win tonight. I know you haven't had near as many as you would have liked or had hoped to have this season, but you're 10th in points coming into tonight. You only had one top 5. You finally get your first win. A couple top 5s in the book. This got to feel pretty good.
I love you too, Sean. All those bad stats you're putting out there.
Well, no, I'm just saying it's got to feel really good with just a couple races left to go. I mean, this is the kind of note you want to wrap the season up on, right?
Yeah, that's true. No, seriously, we just had a horrible season. I mean, just tell it like it is. We were shit this season, so to get a win was pretty nice. And really, Nathan had a good race too. It really probably should have had a 1-2, I think, but things happen, and it's nice to have pace back in the car again. We actually had it last week. We had good pace last week again in the car. Had some bad luck, and then so to bring it over to this week, it was good too.
Now, as a former collegiate athlete, we don't cuss on the air.
Oh,
So,
yes, Michael, it's caca. It's caca.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, it's all right. That's all right. Hey, and for those who don't know, Michael Overbay actually caught a game of basketball with a guy named Jordan once. So if you want to know a little tidbit about this dude, a very fascinating individual, Mike Overbay. I'm gonna end it on that one though, and get everybody scratching their heads, going, "Wait a minute, Jordan basketball, really?" Anyway,
yeah, I'm old. Thanks.
Yeah. Congratulations, Mike. We'll see you next week, buddy.
Take care, guys. Thanks a lot.
All right. That is Michael Overbay, our winner tonight. John, I'm going to let you talk to Rod Clenard, our second place finisher and fellow Texan this evening.
Yeah, Rod Clenard starting up on the front row there this morning. Rod, you had a good lead there going, came in for the pit stop. Obviously, you opted for tires. Overbay didn't. Do you kind of regret that, or was it the right call, you think?
No, from my point of view, it was definitely the right call. My tires were totally shot the first half of the race, and there was just really no question I had to take tires.
Yeah, well, Sean and I talked about it during the race. I think it's that Carter instinct. You got those brand new Evencos on there, and you want to just burn them up the first two laps, and know that you have plentiful back in the pits there.
Yeah, no kidding. It's the Evencos. It's like lap 3 or 4. That's your best lap, and it's kind of the same here today.
Well, so kind of talk us about it. You were over in Italy a few weeks ago, and then you went to Vegas, and now you're here in Spain. Great finish this evening. How's life been for you the past few weeks there?
I feel like a regular old jet setter, building up the old frequent flyer miles, seeing the world. No, but in all seriousness, the Italy trip was a blast. It was the first time I was overseas, and the karting there is just on another level. It's really amazing to just to be a part of it and to watch it unfold around me. It was just, there's a whole nother level that I wasn't even aware of that those guys just live in. It was pretty impressive.
And Rod, you went all the way to Italy just to get penalized. I saw you had a penalty.
Man, I screwed up in qualifying, and I got back. I qualified like 20-something, 26 or something. So you have to start at 26. And they have pushback bumpers over there for shifter carts, which is something new to me as well. And every single start, somebody stalled in front of me, and it was just bam. You have no choice. I mean, I think you start like 8 feet apart or 10 feet apart or something like that. And if you nail your start and the guy stalls in front of you, you're going to hit him. It's very hard to get out of the way.
Well, unlike iRacing, where you can just hold down the escape key for 3 seconds and get a new car, Sean talked about it a little bit. You've been, I think, 4 races this season with this group. You've had some impressive runs. Last time you ran, I think it was at the ring where you kind of led again, and your teammate Holland there kind of passed you with 2 to go. Are you liking this car? Are you liking this team you're a part of? Kind of tell us about that.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a great bunch of guys. We feed off each other. We talk setups. We talk driving. There's a lot of kind of coaching that goes on. It's just really a great bunch of guys. And David Holland and I have raced shifter cars before at North Texas Carter, so we're no strangers to be side by side with each other. Not sure what happened. I don't think I got in his way when Holland spun turn 3 or 4, I think it was. But
Rod, let's be truthful, Rod. He's all juiced up on the NyQuil. Okay.
He was seeing double.
Yeah.
All right, I'll take that.
Well, hey, good run for you tonight. It was great talking with you. Anybody you'd like to thank before we let you go?
Absolutely. I'd like to thank Vantage Esports and Global SimRacing Channel. You guys do an awesome job. It's a pleasure to watch your videos.
All right, awesome. Sean, there's your second place finisher, Rod with a D Glenard, not Rob, but Rod. Who do you have, Sean? You have Mr. Holland there?
I do have Mr. Holland.
Mr.
So
NyQuil?
it's an all Texas booth right now. And, we're not on NyQuil, but David Holland is. How are you feeling right now, David? That would be the first question.
Hey guys, I'm surviving. I'm surviving.
God, he sounds like death. Jeez.
Sounds like the guy from Carvel ice cream.
Morning,
Yeah,
John?
nobody gets
Come
that,
on.
John. Nobody gets that. David, bless you, man. You obviously don't sound well. You don't sound like your normal self, but you somehow finished second tonight, or on the podium third. Some bad fuel strategy there at the end, or a damaged car not calculating fuel. Were you expecting that to grab the podium?
No, I wasn't expecting that. Definitely got a little bit lucky there. Really unfortunate though for Nathan. He definitely earned that.
Yeah, he really did. It was an unfortunate set of circumstances. It sees you get on the podium again. That's 7 top 5s for you this season, and you're sitting on 6 wins with 2 to go. Championship looking it's pretty good right now. Let's leave it at that. But I don't want to give you anything yet, David. This got to feel pretty good on a night when you're feeling just terrible. There's still squeak out a podium. Tell us how that feels right now.
Yeah, it feels good. I mean, I definitely made it pretty hard on myself there in the first lap. I put it off track. I saw some guys kind of coming up to the inside on me. I was going to try and give them a little bit of room, leave me to the inside there for the hair. And once I went wide, I guess it got out in the dust and the marbles, and it kept pushing, never turned. So I was way back there. I don't even know how far back I was, but slowly started making my way through the field. And I'm happy where I ended up. Big congrats to Michael there on the win. He pretty much owned this race, so very well deserved on his part. And congrats to Rod as well. Good second place.
Well, David, listen, congratulations to you. I don't want to keep you long. I'm starting to feel guilty and almost feel like
he's not.
Contributing to your illness. Yeah,
He's not doing it. He's not doing it.
Well, I don't want to
He's doing
catch
it
what
on
he's got.
purpose.
He's got the cooties. I don't want him.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna need to de-louse the booth when he gets out of here now because he's sick, David. So go get better, and we'll see you next week, buddy.
By the way, that hair will grow back, David. It just
Oh my gosh. Oh geez. All right. Well, thanks guys. As always, gotta thank PRL and NinjaTrader and you guys at GSRC. Also, want to thank my dad again tonight. He was spotting for me. Definitely had his work cut out for him, but he did a great job. And thanks guys. Appreciate it.
We have to get his dad here in the booth at some point, John, and talk about that dynamic. I don't know that I'd want our father spotting for one of us. That might get tense. Anyway, listen, plenty of people to thank tonight, especially NinjaTrader. We want to thank them for coming on board this season with the Precision Racing League Thursday night series here in the Formula 3 cars. We want to thank the iRacing Esports Network for having us on board here and bringing these races to you through their portal here on YouTube. Of course, we want to thank the companies that provide the software and hardware that you see here on screen. We use them for every broadcast, and we recommend them highly. And we also want to thank June Lalonde, who does all of our music for us. See the screen, try to get a hold of more of her great work.
Don't forget Rem, Sean. Don't
yes,
forget Rem.
and well, I was getting to it. We had Rem Ambrosi, our long lost Australian brother, in the booth with us this evening, doing a little spotting. We appreciate his help. My little brother Johnny over there, I want to thank him for coming along, and Joe, Dougie, thank you, gentlemen. If you'd like to find out more about the Global SimRacing Channel, including upcoming races, you can find it at globalsimracingchannel.com, where we've got a button for our merch store there too. Want to check that out?
1500th caller right now, we'll get a free sticker.
Okay, and they can call your number, John, or you can check out our social media. Yeah, find us on social media at Twitter at GSR Channel, Facebook. Type in Global SimRacing Channel. You'll find us there. Instagram at GSRC_Graham. The next race coming to you from Brands Hatch. We're going to take a quick flight out of Spain and up to England for Brands Hatch Round 9 next Thursday, November 14th, 9 Eastern. We'll see you there. Look for the upcoming races on screen. Check those out. Mark them down on your calendar. But folks, until next time, race clean, race hard, and we'll see you on the track.